I've been a member of ASBMR, I would say since 2019. That would have been the first conference that I would have attended. And what's interesting is that the research group that I'm a part of is actually at Columbia University Irving Medical Center, and our research team director is Dr. Elizabeth Shane. And apparently she has been a member of ASBMR for a very, very long time, and she actually was president of ASBMR many, many years ago. And so she really has every team member who joins the team she's encouraged them to come to the conference, to network, to meet people, and so it's just kind of been this like really wonderful, just sort of growing under her, and you have your job and your position, and then you kind of keep on going, and this is another piece of it. So I just so really it's been, yeah, I say 5 years then. What it means to me, my gosh. So it just gives me, first of all, I know Betsy loved McClung. I've heard a lot of amazing, wonderful things about her. And it just, to me, is amazing that in this conference of like the physicians, like the scientists, there is this niche for the nurses. And I feel like oftentimes I feel like in these fields that position, and that it doesn't necessarily get highlighted, like the importance of like the nurses in all of the care and the role with the patients. And I honestly feel like, because I'm a research nurse, that relationship that we've developed with our research patients, remember they're volunteering for a research study, they're not clinical patients, and so they have the option to not participate in research studies. But I think it's the importance of the relationship that I develop with them as a nurse that actually keeps them coming back. It helps with our retention. It helps. They're traveling from many different parts of the world because of their rare bone disease. They're not all in New York City. So I just feel like being able to strengthen like my role as a nurse, the therapeutic relationship in all of this is something like coming here. It's like this kind of it gives me another like how would I say it? It gives me another kind of another tool under my belt, like another way to be able to kind of like learn like how to just become a better provider for them. Really, that's kind of what I feel like this sort of means to me. It's just to strengthen another way to become a better provider, just to be present for my patients. That's what I think. I love that question. So yesterday the way that this is going to strengthen the global network, how it's going to really help. Something very interesting was there was a gentleman who I spoke with yesterday from Sweden, and the patients that we take care of are patients with PLO, pregnancy and lactation associated osteoporosis. And it was very interesting to talk with him to find out, how many of these patients do you see? He was very curious, and it's a very, very small number of patients, like 6 maybe. And I think I remember at a time where no one was seeing these patients, and just to see, he's in Sweden, he's seeing these patient populations, he's kind of networking with us, like, well, what are your treatment therapies? Like, how do you deal with these patients? When you screen them, what you do? So it was just kind of an opportunity to sort of connect with different people to see, like, what are your approaches to treatment? And they're coming to us to find out, and we're looking to them to find out. And just to be able, especially because each country has their own set of protocol and rules, to be able, like, how they can handle a patient, how they can deal with a patient, what treatments they have access to. So it was kind of nice just to sort of like see like what we had in common, like what overlapped, and sort of the things like, well, we do this, maybe you guys should consider doing this, and like that would be wonderful, like we should actually maybe pursue that. I've been thinking that my next step should be to become nurse practitioner, and being here, I'm having this opportunity has just really opened the door for me. And just sort of going back to what I said, like I said, I applied to this award many, many years, and just finally being able to take the next step in having it, in being awarded it. It's like I'm moving in the right direction, and it's like never give up, just keep on going. And so now this happened, and now there's going to be the next step, and I'm going to just keep on going. So I just feel like I'm moving in the right direction. And of course, ASBMR, it's on the way. There's one other thing I do want to say, which I'm kind of really happy about, that the condition that we're working with patients with pregnancy and lactation-associated osteoporosis, like I said, it got very little recognition, but for the first time in all of these years that I've been coming here, there is a talk section that's titled with this condition, which just means that it went from not being something that was recognized by many to now being recognized by so many people. And we have 2 of our young people who are speaking in that group, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely not what we saw 5 years ago. And so this is getting the right recognition. Everything that we've been doing, all the work that we've been doing, it's just sort of paying off. Like everything's just going like the right direction. So we're just watching things grow. That's really wonderful.